Well, how long has it been? Last review on YouTube was November 23rd, 2019 during the Great Vlare Wave. Last true review was on January 1st, 2020 with the Mock Ride video, which was a Vlare exclusive, but it's gone now, as you probably know. Last video at all was a part of that pseudo series that I did with the ET April Fool's video on April 1st, 2020, so it's been 2 or 3 years depending on how you see it. Well, I'm back. Did you miss me? Probably not. My voice sounds very different, as you can tell now. You don't have to worry about a cancerous pseudo high-pitched, I don't even know what a chromosome is yet voice, and now you have this better but still benign voice. So, where have I been? For those on YouTube, the last video I did was the Wade Hickston video, at least of the ones that are still up right now. That was 3 years ago, so it's safe to say I've been away for a long time. If you saw me on Vlare, it would have been 2 years coming up to 3 years now since you last saw a true review. But both Vidley and Vlare had April Fool's specials, so make of it as you will. It's safe to say the past few years have been fucking brutal. We of course had the pandemic, however I was just also generally burnt out by the previous year, 2019 being such a clusterfuck of a year for me, in terms of like making videos and also the struggles that came with it. I spent a lot of the pandemic making shit posts on my secondary accounts, which was primarily the main source of content which I produced over the past couple of years. I became a lot more of a viewer, and honestly, I kind of miss those Vlare days, but I also kind of don't. I was a part of the staff team for the new Vlare project that started in early to mid 2021, which turned out to be a complete disaster with policies and forced signings of contracts and all that other shit that I don't really want to get into. Alan Buzzy has a really good video about that on Vidley, which is up. Speaking of that, Vidley also got purchased in the time I was gone. Vidley was being refurbished, I guess you could say, however it got canned and the name was sold off to somebody who was, to say the least, less than willing to make the site a neutral party when it came to political issues. I won't really get into much detail, however, let's just say that if you take the film title Gremlins, change the G to a K, then you'll know what Vidley had basically become a giant supporter of. The new owner themselves aren't bad, however it's the guy that they brought on to keep the site stable, who also kind of brought in a little something that is called pedophilia. You know, like a lot of TV presenters over here kind of get charged for it. It's kind of a big deal over here in the UK. So it's safe to say that the past few years have been very rough. I know that's a fucking understatement, but please just roll with me here. Now, here's the main part that I want to get into. I want to start making reviews again. Maybe not as frequently, but I want to do more essay styles, hopefully, and maybe get at least maybe a couple out a month. There's an old prototype for a Streets of Rage 2 review that I was making back in April 2020. The editing style in that video was vastly different from what I made beforehand, and I'm probably not going to make something as ambitious as that was, but still I'd want to make something that's better than what I made back in 2019. I also have ambitions of getting into game design, however I don't really want to get into any of that as of this moment, because I want to talk about the channel instead, including one of the biggest changes that's happening. I'm gonna be honest here, I've lost faith in most video sharing sites. YouTube has always been the thing I've wanted to get away from, however now Vidley has become the same. Because of this, my priority is now other sites rather than YouTube and Vidley, rather than what it was before where Vlare was the priority as well as Vidley and not YouTube. So I'm still going to upload to those places, however they're not going to be as much of a deal to me. For one, Trackle. Trackle's the site that I was the most subscribed on for a little bit before I was taken over by the Trackle official channel itself and MSN, and now I'm not even in the top 10, which is lovely. As for the other site, good old Vanillo. Vanillo was the site in which I only uploaded one video on it back in the day, and that was a Super Star Wars video. That is coming to 4 years ago now. I'd like to say that both Vanillo and Trackle are my main sites, more so Vanillo than Trackle, even though, you know, I'm staff member of Trackle and I really want to bring some more content onto it. Oh yeah, one more thing. I kind of want to branch out more of my content. I don't want to just do game reviews anymore. I also want to do stuff like discussion videos and gameplay. So you'll have reviews, gameplay and discussion. These 3 categories were definitely not stolen from another YouTuber. With these new types of content as well, especially the discussion videos, I kind of want to branch outside of video games as a whole, and maybe talk about just stuff that I really feel like talking about. Whether that be stuff like oversimplified logos, or like movies, anything really. I just kind of gave away the first discussion video. I mean, like, it's a very cliche topic, but I just feel like it because I think I could have a fun time talking about it. I made a promise 3 years ago, just to end this off, where I said I'd review Dig Dug 2. It's probably about time I delivered on that promise. After all, I never actually went through with it. Hopefully you all don't mind, but I guarantee you that you probably do not give a fuck, do you? I might make a discussion video before the Dig Dug one, where I talk about the Game Awards, but no promises. I'm not going to make a promise that I never deliver on for 3 years. So yeah, happy to be back. I'm sorry this is kind of a short video for my return, but like, you probably don't really care either. You're probably just going to see this video, go like, oh okay, and then just go on with your day. So I don't want to keep you around for too long, just yeah, hasta la vista, hopefully have a good day, goodbye. Hey everyone, time for the unscripted outro. Thank you all for sticking around, but like, you probably shouldn't have. I'm gonna pop up some outtakes real quick, but yeah, thank you all. I might do a Patreon, probably not, because I'm still quite young. And, at least you're not paying for a little cancerous little voice like, yeah, I sound like a moron. You don't want any of that voice, do you? You don't want fucking malignant tumours for voices, so, that didn't make any sense. Okay, well, yeah, I'll just pop up the outtakes, goodbye, and thank you for sticking around. There's a prototype on one of my computers for a street... Fuck! I also kind of have ambitions to get into game design myself. However, I'm not really going to talk about that right now. I want to talk about something else that's probably the biggest change to the channel as of this moment. Fuck. What I do want to talk about though is fuck! I don't really want to get into anything else right now. I do have ambitions to... Fuck. YouTube has always been the thing I've wanted to get away from. Oh, fuck. And now Vidly is pretty much the... Fuck! For one, Trackle. Trackle was the site that I was the most subscribed on for a little bit before I got taken over by the Trackler channel. It's fucking...